Wilds, you saw it, you called it, you kick us off. What was your reaction to seeing the news that Tom Brady's back?
My reaction was that he never left. And that's why I never believed this from the very get-go. First of all, if I said I'm leaving this show at 9:31 on Friday, and then Sunday night, I'm like, by the way, I'm back. Like, well, Wilds, we didn't have any shows. You didn't really miss anything at all. Like, well, this whole thing felt like a charade, Nick, from the very start. And I was surprised that anyone gave it any credence. The way the news broke, where Schefter and Jeff Darlington said, he's retired, and then Brady's agent and father have to be like, no final decision. Let's just hold off. Brady says, you know what? I have made a final decision. What are you going to do, Tom? Are you going to have a giant parade with 20,000 people like Joe Montana? Nope. How about an Instagram post? That's the way I'm going to retire. I'm going to retire via Instagram. And by the way, only mention the Bucs, not mention the New England Patriots, which literally made my career. People thought that was a little bit funny, so they said, oh, shoot. You know what? Let me send a few heart emojis out. Okay, great. Yeah, a few heart emojis. Now people will really think you're retired. Then what does he do? Goes on to Jim Gray's podcast and, quote, says, I want to take things as they come. I don't know how I'll feel 6 months from now. 6 months? Buddy, that was 1 week. That's when old KW decided to debut the sunglasses. Say, 1 week? You're talking about 6 months? He lasted 40 days, and now finally he's back. So, Nick, I thought this whole thing was a charade from the very get-go. It never passed the smell test. He never wanted to retire, and now he's come out. If anything, this doesn't answer this doesn't answer the question of will he come back, will he stay? I think it brings up more questions like, why did you do any of this to begin with?
Yes.
All right, so there's a lot to dive into there. But first and foremost, because I mocked Wilds, I ridiculed Wilds, I said he's the kid who, still thinks his parents are going to get back together. So first and foremost, an apology. Yeah, I was wrong. You were right. Secondarily, before I give my analysis on this, quick question for the prognosticator Kevin Wilds. Does this mean my parents might still get back together? They've been divorced like 20 years. On the board. Like, is there a chance there, or should I let that go?
On the board.
Okay,
all right. There's a 40-day window there.
On the board. So, all right. So here's the deal. As big of a winner as Kevin Wilds is, and I'm happy Brady's back. I said I wanted him to be able to play till he was 45 because that was his stated goal. I said I didn't like the idea that his family was kind of like bullying him out of the sport. So I'm glad he's back. But I think Brady's a loser here, Broussard. Because charade is the right word. What the hell was this? And, Wilds is evidently here to give spot-on predictions. Jenna's here for timely movie quotes. And Broussard's here for the cogent, sober analysis. You know what I'm here for? Lists. So here you go, Brew. 5 worst retirements ever. Coming in at number 5. All right. And we're throwing out all boxers and MMA guys because they do it all the time. Number 5, world's strongest man, Mark Henry. He announced his retirement and literally 1 minute later fought a guy. His retirement lasted 1 minute. That's him retiring. Then he starts hitting John Cena. Blammo! He's unretired. So that's number 5. Coming in at number 4. Oh my God! Roger Clemens is in George's box. That one. Oh my God! Roger Clemens coming back as a Yankee. He had to go 6-6 with a 4.2 ERA. That wasn't great. Number 3, Brett Favre. Willie won't he? No, this time I'm really retired. Actually, I'm a Jet. A Jet? Number 2, the second retirement of Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Jordan finally had a chance to prove he could finish above 500, win a single playoff series without Scotty and Phil. And he's like, nope, I'm quitting, only to come back with the Wizards. That was a shame. And then number 1, the worst retirement we've ever seen, Tom Brady.
Totally agree.
Brew, he hijacked Super Bowl week on the front end, and on the back end, he announces he's coming back with 5 minutes left in KG's retirement game. The Boston fans are there to celebrate KG. They're like, oh my God, Tommy's back. KG doesn't even get his moment. This guy, we thought Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson were attention seekers. This guy has done nothing the last 6 weeks and has made himself the biggest story in sports 3 times. So, Tom Brady, worst retirer ever. He might be the GOAT football player. He is the worst retirer I've ever seen.
Okay, you were smart to take out boxers because obviously Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, you could go on and on about their poor retirements. And here's a fun fact, just quickly. I grew up with Mark Henry's wife, Jenna. Yeah, the wrestler that just body slammed John Cena. Grew up with his wife. Yeah, hey, Jenna, how you doing? But anyway, here's the problem with your list, Nick. The other retirements were bad. Why? Because they didn't really pan out. Jordan didn't make the playoffs with the Wizards. Favre, struggled at later in his at the end, and Clemens was horrible with the Yankees. And so Brady has a chance if he comes back. And forget winning a Super Bowl or getting there. What if they get to the NFC title game? Then nobody's going to say, oh, wow, what a horrible retirement. He doesn't know how to retire. I'll give you that. But that's par for the course. None of the greats do. And of all the people you put on your list, here's one that technically, I'm going to pull a Wilds. I'm going to pull a Wilds on the Bud list. Somebody that's probably not qualified for your list, Nick. But, man, what a doozy. How about the great Jim Brown? All right, here he is at 47 years old, and he looks much older at 47 than Brady does at 44. 47 years old. He doesn't even play for the Raiders. Why is he in the Raiders uniform on the cover of Sports Illustrated? Because he's concerned that Franco Harris was going to break his all-time rushing record, so Jim wanted to come back. Thankfully, it never happened. But I'm going to pull a Wilds, Nick, and insert him somewhere on your list. But the Wilds, the great ones, never know how to walk away. So I'm not mad at Brady. It is what it is. Let's see what he does on the field next year.
Okay, but that's. So I think we got to be clear here on what we're talking about, Wilds. When Bruce, talking about what the guys did when they came back and that Brady could have a great comeback, that's fine. I'm talking about the actual retirement. This retirement was a sham. It was, at any point, Wilds, let me ask you, at any point did Tom Brady, who do you think, with his father, do you think Tom Brady ever said to his father, I really believe I'm done playing football? Or the whole time was he planning to never miss a game? And in which case it begs the question, what the hell was this whole thing about? Like, why didn't he just after the season say, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the next 2 months just with my family. By the way, he didn't even make, he said 6 months. He did not make it 6 weeks. Jenna said it, 40 days. He's 2 days shy of 6 weeks. He goes to one, parent-teacher event, and he's like, I'm out of here. This is nonsense. I don't know how Giselle does it. I'll take you guys to Man U with me, but that's it. I got to get back on the field. Like, the hell was he doing?
I'll tell you, low-key winner, Jenna, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers says, maybe I'll retire. And we're all like, get out of here. What are you're thinking about retiring? Tom Brady goes the other way, says, I am going to retire. And it turns out worse. Tom Brady was never retired. When he decided to retire via Instagram, that means he was never serious about retiring at all. The biggest question in the following weeks leading up to the season is trying to unravel the mystery of why he started us down this charade retirement road to begin with. I think we're going to hear more things about whether he's going to be with the Bucs, his relationships with Bruce Arians, his relationships with the Glazers, who we went over to Man U because the Glazers own Man U. Right. There's some strategic leverage. I don't buy that he was like, I want to spend more family, time with my family. You know what? I don't buy that it's that simple. There's got to be a football reason that he started us down this path.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.